We have a lot to talk about in this episode. How's it going, guys? Josh here at Trax RC, and today we are bringing you episode 19 in our Trax's TRX-4 Sport upgrade series. We don't have a main upgrade for this video because we have done multiple little things to our TRX-4 Sport. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is that we made some custom inner fenders on the back. Well, I guess that you could call them inner fenders. They're more to just hide the battery right back here because we have the battery mounted right here and you could see it through the cage if these two plates weren't right here. So these are just more for aesthetics when the body is on so that we don't see the battery. So to make these, it was a really easy process. We cut out some cardboard templates that fit, and then we transferred that over to ABS plastic. We then transferred the two pieces onto the side of the battery tray, and it is just held on with shoe glue, and it's pretty sturdy. I don't even think we'll need to use screws. With the body off, they definitely look really ugly, but once the body is on, it fills that gap, which is what we were going for. So the next thing that we did to our TRX-4 is that we touched up the body where all the paint has chipped off. If you guys remember, we had a ton of clear spots like in this area of the body on both sides. And that's just from the body getting beat up against rocks in cold weather. So to repaint the body, we put masking tape around the entire outside of it to act as a protective film so we don't get overspray on the outside. We also masked off the windows, and I have a story. So when I was masking off the windows, I kind of forgot to mask off this one completely, and when I was painting it, I was like, alright, so it looks pretty good. Now I'm just going to make sure I didn't mess up anywhere, and I turned the body over, and this window is completely red. At that point, I was thinking like, oh, that should not be red. So I was like, well, I already let it dry kind of, so I was just thinking of ways that I could make it look better. I was actually thinking about cutting out the back windows on both sides and putting mesh. And I was like, I'm not doing that. It's going to look so bad. So then I just started thinking of ways to get the paint off, and I used rubbing alcohol, and it got it all off besides a little spot right here. You guys could probably barely even see it. There's a better look. I could probably scratch all of it off if I put some time and effort into it, but in my opinion it's fine because we plan on getting a new body anyways. Well, this same body, but we're just going to get a new version just because this one is really beat up. We also don't like the way that we cut out this body in some spots, like around the wheel arches. We cut that out way too much, around the front bumper, and especially around this area right here. We want to cut out this floor pan, but then we're going to have a huge gap, and also the rock sliders are going to interfere. So it might be hard to understand, but we don't like the way that we cut out the body basically. So in the future, we're just going to get a new body and transfer all of our accessories onto it because, I mean, we like this one, but there's just some imperfections on it. And this body's also getting a lot of cracks in it. Like, for example, I really don't know how this mirror is still attached because there's cracks all around it. And same thing on this side. And then there's a lot of cracks like in this area on both sides and around where the roll cage mounts. So to preserve the life of the body a little bit, we got some Gorilla Tape and completely covered the inside of it. It's definitely going to add a lot of weight to the top, but this body's already heavy, so what's more weight going to do? The Gorilla Tape is just going to help make the body a little bit stronger. It's going to dent in the sound and make it more flexible. So moving on to our next upgrade that we did, we moved the rock sliders up even more by putting some spacers in it. I mean, there's really not that much to it. We just added some more spacers. We already had a few, so it jacked it up even more, and now they are level with the floor pan. So now we should not get caught. So a few scale modifications that we did is we just added a few scale accessories that we had. We added a second Proline scale modular fuel pack to the one that we already had installed, and then we added another drive shaft and an axle shaft. We just felt like the roof rack was a little bit empty, so this will just dress it up a little bit. And the last thing that we did to our TRX-4 Sport is we got another rear body mount. So you may ask, well, Why? We got another one so that we could run the stock body. The stock body is just so much lighter than this one that we have. Yeah, this one looks really cool and it's still going to be our main body, but if we want to do some harder lines, we're going to have to use this one. And we had to get the new rear body mount because the back of this body is held on with magnets, and we didn't want to do that with the stock body because that one already has pre-drilled holes. So when we want to run the stock body, all we have to do is remove 2 screws, pull the rear body mount off, install this one, and put the body on. It's that simple. The stock body actually doesn't fit too well how we set up this platform, so what we have to do is we kind of have to smush the front, put the body clips in the front on, and then we have to push the sides in so that they line up with the rock sliders. Then we have to push the back down and put those clips in. I mean, the front is kind of smushed by the bumper, and you can tell that like when you look at the rock sliders that it's not level. But hey, it works and it doesn't look terrible. Our main goal was to be able to run our normal body without having to change too much to run this one. And to give ourselves more performance when we run this body, we trimmed the front a little bit along this area to give us more clearance. And then we also completely trimmed the back. And if we want to, we could run a rear bumper, but it's just more that we have to do to get this body to fit. If we do have the rear bumper installed, we won't be able to see these red lights. And yeah, that's all that we've done to our TRX-4 Sport. Before we end it, we just want to explain to you guys why this series is starting to slow down a little bit. Long story short, the list of upgrades is getting shorter and shorter, and we've pretty much done everything that we want to do to this thing, and we're happy with it right now. And all of the upgrades that we do want to get for it are bigger purchases, so we're gonna have to prioritize when we want to get those. And you guys are definitely going to see more of a gap between when we post an episode. And we are in no means in a rush to get this thing done because it is just so much fun to drive. We really do need to think about getting a better power system in this thing. The brush stuff is just not cutting it because all of the weight that we've added. So we're going to have to get a brushless system for this thing. I'm leaning towards the Hobby Wing Axe because we want that scale look, and the Hobby Wing Axe can give that to us. If we were going for hardcore performance, I would probably get a Castle with a Holmes Polar Pro. But I don't really know. We still need to explore other options, and that is not going to happen anytime soon. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for this video. Before we close it, we just want to invite you guys over to check out our website. Click the link down below in the description, and it will take you to our website, and there we have reviews on all of our RCs, including our TRX-4 Sport and other ones that we have featured on our channel. There you can also buy Trax RC merchandise and learn general information about us and our channel. You can also check out some of the latest RC news topics that we have for you guys this week, as well as a full list of the best RCs in our opinion. And we do have the build breakdowns page, and that is where you can find a full parts list of all the upgrades that we have installed on every single one of our RCs. Alright, so we hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time on Trax RC.